everyone, welcome back to another episode of Elephant Talk, where today, in this episode, I had the absolute pleasure of talking to someone I came across back in 2020, 2021. This is the wonderful Stacey Ryan. She is trained in jazz music, started releasing covers through COVID and watching those numbers go up, then started releasing her own music with the power of TikTok, getting some viral attraction, and now is about to release another album. Her album, Blessing in Disguise, is coming out August 15th, so make sure you pre-save. I had a wonderful time chatting with her about her songwriting process, about that viral moment, and about her tour that she's about to go on. So I hope you enjoy this next episode of Elephant Talk. Hello, Stacey. How are you?
I'm so good. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you. I'm been looking forward to this chat for a long time. You are someone who I love your music. I love your voice, and I feel like I first came across you back 20 early 2020 21, whenever it was, like COVID kind of times, with your covers. So I'm really excited to talk about kind of the beginning of that journey for you. And yeah, but how have you been? How have your days been recently?
It's been kind of jam-packed recently, I was home in Montreal for 2 weeks, like end of June. Got back July 1st, had my friend visiting me, like just kind of getting back into LA, working, promoting the album. So honestly, it's been like crazy busy, but obviously in a very good way. You know, it was just the 4th of July here, which I'm not American, but I was in America for it, so party and all this stuff. So it's been very plentiful and very busy as of recent.
Yeah, but you've been finding time to kind of focus on yourself as well, in amongst all the busyness.
Yeah, I'm
Getting
trying. I'm
there.
trying every day.
It's good to be busy. It's good that you're doing what you love, and I'm excited to jump onto that in a second. But I want us to rewind back to the beginning, just for people that might not know. How did you start your music journey? How did you start, your music career?
I mean, music journey. I've just like always loved music. I've grown up around it. My dad is a huge music fan, plays piano. So I definitely got a lot of my musicality from him. And I just knew, like, whenever I was going to school, that like the thought of going to school for anything else other than music, I'm like, what's the point? Like, if I have to go to school to become an architect, that sounds like something I really don't want to do.
Yeah.
So it was just always like that was what it was going to be. And I was like, it's not going to be anything else. Like, that's my only plan and my only goal as my career. And then, I start posting on TikTok and YouTube and stuff, definitely more as COVID hit, because before that I was in school. So I was in university, and I was, I was still in music. So I was doing
Yeah.
musical things, but busy with school and homework and stuff. So when COVID hit and we all had a break, I just started making a lot of content. I started writing songs, making like covers for YouTube, which is
Mhm.
one of the ones you saw. And then moving over to TikTok and going viral a couple times over there, and then going viral the big time.
And just seeing it all kind of like get bigger and bigger. How was that for you? Just that kind of viral moment. So obviously I think you're talking about the Fall in Love Alone and the Don't Text Me When You're Drunk kind of songs. How was that?
They're two completely different viral moments because
Okay.
they went viral so differently. So it's
Mm,
like they're not even comparable.
yeah.
The first one was just like, let's post an open verse challenge. Don't text me when you're drunk had not even like been was not even finished. The song did not even exist in its entirety before I put out the open verse. We just saw my friend Sadie Jean. She did an open verse, and my manager was like, "What if you just did that with one of your songs? Like, well, what could happen?" And I was like, "I don't know. Let's try." And then amazing chaos ensued after that. But that was crazy just because like it was my original song, but then also with like the collaborative effort of everyone else, like adding on, and it was getting so like widespread and huge because not only was it like serious musicians, but then people started getting funny and making like
Yeah.
memes. So it just got like so big. Um, and then with Fall in Love Alone, it was kind of crazy because Don't Text Me When You're Drunk was like immediate. I posted it, and then like 2 or 3 days after that, it was already like running up. Everyone was joining. It was crazy. But Fall in Love Alone was, the song came out in May of 2022. And then it really started like getting crazy on TikTok and stuff in October. So
Oh wow, okay.
it took 6 months before like someone posted just a TikTok of the music video that we made with the lyrics, and then just started going crazy. So obviously, two very distinct, amazing moments in my career. Yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy. It's just like you never know when a video is going to pick up. Like the algorithm doesn't make any sense,
Oh
first
my
of
God.
all.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, that's bonkers. I remember seeing those the open verse challenge. I was like, oh, that's just gonna pop off. Like let's just follow along and join on the ride. Like it was so cool. No, my favorite. Just going back to your covers real quickly. I think the first one I saw was the Dancing Queen one. That's when I first came across. But then the Eleanor Rigby one, I used to go on that repeat, the acapella. Like I know,
Okay.
that one. I was like, guys, you need to watch this. This gal is great. So I just wanted to shout out on that one because that was my
Oh, I
personal
love it.
favorite.
I actually spent so much time on that video, like the
Yeah,
editing of just like the video part, not even arranging the whole song first and foremost, but
yeah.
editing 'cause all the clips move. I was very proud of that video, so
You should be. It's so impressive.
I'm glad you like it.
And that was all you. Obviously, like that's you did everything.
Literally
Yeah.
me just sitting in my room with my camera. And what was crazy is that I filmed on like a camera for the first time. Like I had a
Mm.
Canon, just like a camera, like nothing too crazy, but getting like downloading all the videos off of the camera to my computer and then like arranging them and being like, okay, I filmed 8 takes of almost the same thing, but they're all just a little different. You had to figure out which one was which. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. No, whenever I do something, I'd like try and like do some sort of different clap so I know which one I'm layering the track. So then it
Oh
still
my
doesn't make any
God.
sense. But
Oh no, it's just figure it out as you go along type
yeah.
thing.
Yeah. No, but well done. That's it's like, and that's where it's kind of started. And then, you got more fans and it progressed to the. Have you always been writing music? Is that something that you've always been doing anyway?
It's funny because yes, like overall answer yes. I actually found a book recently, like my little songwriting journal from when I was like literally 9 years old. I actually think it's somewhere here
Somewhere.
or home, but the first page is like, this is Stacey Ryan's like dream songwriting diary, and it's for her eyes only. Like it's so dramatic and it's so like little kid vibes.
Yeah.
But the last line is like, and this diary holds a dream to be like a singer songwriter. And I'm like,
Oh,
wait, okay, that's cute.
yeah.
But there's songs in there that I wrote when I was like 10 years old. And I've literally never lived anything in my life at 10 years old. I was a regular 10-year-old, and I'm writing like, I feel invisible and you left me. And I'm like, who am I talking about? Because it's not me.
But at that
Um,
moment in your life, you felt invisible. So,
I did not though. I didn't. I was lying. I don't know why I
oh,
was
okay.
lying. So I remember, well, obviously I stopped writing music and
Mhm.
then, was growing up and stuff. And then when I was in like college, I remember like, I was in music college. So I'm learning different styles of music, how to make them. So songwriting is just something that kind of comes back around, I'm like, oh, should I start writing songs? And I remember being like, oh, I still haven't had any like major life experience other than like, going to school and working a job. Like I hadn't been with anyone. I never like had some crazy fling or like, I never did anything like that. So to me, which is like kind of not really like not a right opinion, but I don't know. I was like, I can't write music until I've lived through something like heartbreaking or life changing. Um, and I don't know if that was me just being like weird with myself or just maybe I wasn't like, I was just trying to justify. I'm like, I wasn't ready or something. I don't know. I don't know what it was, but I wrote a song called Next to You. I remember I was in college and I wrote it and I was like, oh, like this is good. And then I just started writing and then I
Yeah.
haven't stopped since. So I actually wrote a song yesterday. So just
There you
it
go.
never stops.
Exactly. And you never know. It's one of those things you don't want to, shouldn't force. It's just kind of like whenever it feels right, you've got your notebook or you've got your phone now that you can just voice record or whatever.
Hmm.
I think that's really relatable though, what you just said about not about feeling like you haven't done enough to write songs. I was definitely, because I just recently released my album in May, my debut album.
Yay!
It's just I point over there because it's just like chilling.
Oh my God, I
um,
love
but
vinyl. Okay.
vinyl. But yeah, I remember like when I kind of was, writing bits and pieces, and I was like, nothing's happened. What is happening in my life that that's so big to write, like to start writing about? But sometimes it just needs to be like something small, right? And then it just, away goes your imagination. Do you tend to write from personal things normally, or could it be from anything that kind of spikes your interest?
I mean, I definitely have like, I I mean, my whole shtick was like, I need to write from personal experience, and I've never lived through anything yet, so I can't write yet. But then I, started writing whatever, and then I go to LA, and this is after all the first virality with Don't Text Me When You're Drunk. I go into sessions. I'm writing songs with producers and songwriters, and like I've literally never been in this kind of environment writing music before. It's always just been like me in my room.
Mm.
So I definitely start leaning in, not completely, but like, because I'm still writing from my experience and writing what's happening in my life, but then also kind of like going into more of like a storytelling, like writing about maybe something that I'm not personally going through, or maybe it's like the songwriter in the group, or it's my friend, or, it's like not writing exactly what's coming from here, but something that's still like in my life or affecting me or something that inspires me. So I've definitely have done that a little. Like I've dabbled in it, but I do definitely like prefer to just like, if something's like weighing on my heart or something, it just feels so natural to like vomit it in notes and then show up to a session and be like, guys, I got a story to tell
Yeah.
you.
Let's open this page and see what it says.
Warning, it's very scary. But
Yeah, it is. It's such a vulnerable thing. I write with someone, and I remember the first time kind of bringing out like, here's my diary. It's almost like just, oh, here you go. It's like it's a daunting thing because you're just passing something over so personal. So that's a big thing in itself, and from that, wonderful music has come out, which we love, and I'm excited to hear more. But yeah, it
oh,
is. It is. It is. It's coming soon. Yeah, it is. It is. It's a wonderful thing. I know you play lots of instruments. Can you just talk about how you got into that? Like, what was your first instrument that you kind of started and then progressed?
I mean, piano was first. My dad,
Mm.
we have a piano. We had a piano growing up, so it was just there, and it was like the way our house was laid out. Like you walked in the front door, and then there was like the little entryway, and then to the left there was kind of like the living room with the kitchen and the TV, and like you hang out there. And then in front was like the stairs to go upstairs, and then to the right was like the formal living room, which is like no TV in there. It's the dining room, like the formal dining room.
Yeah.
So like no one ever really like went in there, and it was always colder on that side of the house. Like I don't know, just like to set the scene. And the piano was in there, so I would always go and like tinker around and whatever. And I remember just like always being interested. And I remember playing the Canadian national anthem at one point, like just like with one finger, like nothing crazy. And my mom's like, "How are you playing that?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I just heard it, and now I'm playing it." So she's like, "Okay, interesting."
Mm.
And so then I ended up getting, yeah. She's like, "Wow, I wonder if my kid will make music someday." I don't know. So I started piano lessons, voice lessons. Then my teacher that I had moved away, so I got another teacher for like 10 years. Love the guy; he was great. Then I went to school, and I'm still only playing piano really this whole time
Mm.
because I hadn't like branched out into other instruments yet. I did get a ukulele for my birthday, and I was like, "Oh, this is fun! Like, I like the string vibe." I played trumpet in high school too,
Oh.
as like for my like the program, the intensive music program that I was in. We like had to choose like a band instrument, like
Mm.
that was just part of the curriculum. Oh my God, let me speed this up. And then I get to college. There is in my program, basically every semester you can take a secondary instrument. So I was like, let me just try all of them, or as many as I like could. So I did like classical singing, I did drums for a semester, I did jazz piano for a semester, I think that's it. And then I did guitar for my last semester. And that was the semester like that cut in the middle because of COVID.
Okay.
So went home, sat in my basement for 2 years during COVID and just like basically not like kind of taught myself guitar, but like looked online, looked at tabs, like, so I pretty much played guitar or practiced guitar since COVID, and then recently picked up bass. I'm trying to like, because I'm like, it's kind of the same thing a little bit. And then yes, I think that's kind of the overview.
So it's kind of just like testing out every sort of like instrument applicable to, you know, that was kind of there for you
Pretty
just to
much,
see
yeah.
where should we go. That's so cool. And is it I know you might not have mentioned it now, but you studied jazz music, is that correct? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Was that something that you always knew that you wanted to go to? Is that like kind of what you were drawn to the most genre wise?
I mean, it's kind of funny because I was never like, at least when I was younger, like jazz never stood out to me. I heard it and I was like, this is awesome. I like it. But I was never like, oh my God, like jazz. I was just like music in general.
Yeah.
And then the college program that we went in, it was either like you either did classical music or jazz. Like it was just two options. And jazz had rock and pop and blues and everything, like
Bit more
all
freedom there, yeah.
exactly. And then classical music, I was like, I'm definitely not, that's not my, I love classical music, but I'm not trying to like study it.
Yeah.
So I definitely like was always just a music girly, but then going into college and like learning about jazz and learning like literally like the techniques and the history and all like the, you know, all the musicality of jazz definitely made me like fall in love with it like crazy. So that's why it's, I mean, very prevalent in my music. It's like just always like a part of me that never turns off. Oh, I have a sneeze. It's like stuck in my nose, but it's not coming out. Sorry,
okay, if you need to sneeze, I can cut the part out so you don't have to go at you.
It's, you know what? Totally fine. It's part of natural life.
Exactly.
We're
People
gonna leave it in
sneeze.
the podcast. People sneeze all the time.
So when you training in like jazz music, is that when you sing as well? Do you have like one-to-one singing lessons there? Is that when you explore your voice within that like studying and training?
Yeah, so it was definitely more of like a, like obviously we did technique and warm up and stuff, but we definitely focused more on like the stylistic choices and like how to like improvise and scat in a song and like what syllables should you use and like like taking like, oh, Ella Fitzgerald sang this, write down on sheet music exactly what you did and, you know, like transcribe it and replicate it. Like we just did so much of that. So, and it was a one-on-one with my teacher who was like so amazing. He definitely like saw something in me and was like, I'm going to give you like cool projects and like personalized projects that I kind of was like, I think you could do this. That is, it's not tailored. I mean, kind of tailored to me. He's like, I feel like you've done the regular work and like show that you know it. Let's try something cool, like a whole semester long project or something like that. So we did a lot of cool things in our one-on-one time. But yeah, he just like, I learned so many like, I mean, I just learned all like my singing little doodads and stuff and how I, you know, riffing and like all just scatting and all that stuff from him and just that time of my life in general.
Yeah, and you've definitely brought that forward to your own writing. Is that something that's like important that it's kind of, it's like, because obviously you do have a contemporary pop feel to your music, but then it's got that underlining of the jazz like theory underneath it, but it's kind of like not in people's faces, if that makes sense. But if someone was like to listen to your music, they can hear it, that it's there. It's just very present. I think that's so, it's just really nice. Like I'm a bit of a music nerd and I just love hearing things like crunchy chords. I'm like, yes. So that's a bit of me. But yeah, that's really important to you, like having that in there in your music and kind of.
I mean, I think that it just kind of like appears whether I try for it to or not. You know, like I think because I like it was so deep set in my like coming up and like learning who I was as not only like a musician but person and, you know, like human being. So I feel like it's just so like anchored in my like everything, like not just jazz but music in general. So like musicality I feel like is just something that's so important to me. And it's so important that I don't even like think about it. You know, like when I sit down to write a song, it's like I just like not just it pours out of me, but like the music and like lyrics can and do sometimes. I'm like, how do I make this sound like a nice, concise, good answer?
But it makes sense what you're saying. It's like kind of like you're it's not like you're thinking additionally, let me try and make this kind of like, that it's just
Yeah,
that's the way that you are writing your music and that's the way it's coming out. So
that's it.
you did make perfect sense there. No, I
You
think
summed it up really, really, really good. So
no, I think that's what makes it even more special because it's not like you're trying to be anything else. You're just being you, and that's like this
trying
is
my
what I
best,
am.
you
Do you know
know?
what I mean? Like, and that's really important as well because you're not. Sometimes we can be so wanting to fit in a certain bracket of what media or what the charts are doing. Like, like trying to fit into this slot. It's actually like no, there's a space for you. Just be you.
Mm-hmm.
So no, I think that's nice. Like just whatever feels right.
That's right. That's what I try to do all the time.
And you've got your album coming out. Let's jump onto this. So, Blessing in Disguise. Wonderful title. I love it, first of all. How did you come up with that title? Is it like well, tell me.
So I was racking my brain on like what to name this album. And what's funny is that I didn't really name my EP because I was racking my brain to try to find titles. And then my friend was like, what about I Don't Know What Love Is? And I was like, oh, that is kind of perfect and basically fits the whole narrative of the EP. And so I was doing the same thing for this one. And I think I threw out like, I was like, because I talk about, there's a lot of referencing to like the devil in disguise and like being
Oh, okay.
disguised and like things that are not what they seem a
Mm.
lot in my song. So I was like, I like disguise. I like something like that. And then I think it was my manager's assistant. She was like, I don't know if I said it. She was like, oh, that's awesome. Or she said it. And then I was like, oh, that's
Yeah.
awesome. Someone said blessing in disguise. And I was like,
Hmm.
I like that a lot because I feel like, and the more I thought about it and all the songs that I had like, because the album wasn't finalized yet. Like we were still like picking the songs we wanted. We were definitely like almost at that point, but
Yeah.
it wasn't like completely there. So I was like, I don't like all these songs. I'm like, they all had a theme and all fit together, but I'm like, what is that theme? And so when Blessing in Disguise came out, I was like a light bulb.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
it was just like every song that's on this project is like a lesson that I learned that in the moment of me learning it, I was like, this is so terrible and I hate life and I hate that this is happening to me and I feel so like shit and everything. But then like after the fact, I look at myself after all these things and all these tribulations that I've been through and now I'm like I can say that I came out on the other side like with more like I grew emotionally as a person and I'm like more just like I have more experience now and I feel like I handle situations better. So like all of those moments led like they were a blessing in disguise because I didn't
Yeah.
know it at the
Oh, that's so well. There you go. You need to keep that. That was so good.
Well,
That was a blessing in
I need to
disguise.
bless it. Yeah, right. The little catchphrase at the end.
Yeah. Yeah, just rewatch this and be like, what was it that I said? No, that was good. I
Yeah, just
so
write it down.
would you say that then this is like completely different from the any kind of previous EP album project that you did, like, the before? Like this is just completely like not like musically a step ahead, but also just personally your own journey. Like it's just a new chapter of you, like you kind of feel to the songs.
I mean, you pretty much nailed it. Like, I think it is not a crazy departure from the EP in terms of like the nature of the songs and even like arrangements and the sound of the songs and instrumentation and stuff. But I definitely like on that EP, we did a lot of that like storytelling songwriting. So like there were a couple, not all the songs, but a couple of the songs were just ones that like me and the songwriters caught a great vibe and like like deep end, let's say.
Mm.
Like I don't know, I've never kind of met, or maybe not, maybe now I have, but back when I wrote it in 2022 it was like I have you wrapped on my finger and I can do whatever I want and like just like stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so we basically took all the songs off the EP that I wrote, like from a place of like, I'm going through this right now, like Fall in Love Alone and the idea. And I took that kind of like feeling that I got when I wrote those songs. And I was like, I want to feel that way after every song that I write for this album. And it didn't like, that didn't start out as my goal. You know, like I started writing this album, gosh. I mean, basically since I've started writing music kind of like in LA. So when we first started writing for the EP, you know, like I was always thinking album, what's it going to be like? And then we had an album ready to go last year. And then the whole label thing happened. So the, you know, everything kind of went to the wayside for the moment. And then when I kind of like picked myself back up and like, was like, I'm still in it. Like, you know, just because this is happening doesn't mean like, oh my God, I'm not a musician anymore. And I just wrote basically a whole new album almost. Like it just got replaced and it was like some of the most like honest and true music I've like ever written in my life. And I think it just like musically, to me, it just sounds like, I don't even want to say elevated. Well, yes, I do, because I believe it's elevated, but like, it's elevated in a different way. You know, like the EP is still like, has these big songs and like, they're incredible. Like I go back and listen to the EP sometimes and I'm like, this is an amazing body of like a first body of work to ever put out. Oh. And like, I feel that way about this album, but just like 100-fold. So.
So yeah, like, and there's nothing wrong with saying like elevated. It's not putting the other music down. It's just saying that's where you've progressed too. That's your journey as an artist and journey of where it's taken you. I'm really excited. When is it coming out again? Just remind us all.
August 15th. Woo. It's a Friday. It's 3 days before my 25th birthday, so happy birthday to me.
Yeah, happy birthday to you on that day.
That's my birthday present that I am giving myself 3 days early, and then when my actual birthday comes around, I'm going to be like, no one talked to me. I just worked for 4 months straight putting out an album, and obviously I'm still working after. Like, the grind never stops, but I'm going to be like, all I want for my birthday is to hang by my pool and do nothing.
Yeah, and you should take that day. Take that day yourself.
You know what? I might take the day off. We'll see.
And just listen to the album on repeat. Be like, this is my day.
Run it back. That's what I'm. You know, yeah, I'm gonna give myself streams.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Real ones. I'm not gonna buy them. I'm gonna
real ones. You're gonna listen to it, and everyone else is gonna listen to it. So that's your birthday present.
Everyone's gonna be sick of this project.
I am so excited. Yeah, I mean, you post a lot on social media as well. That's part of the grind as well. You're very vulnerable on social media, and that's the big thing as well. Is that important to you? Just to kind of, again, I guess it's kind of similar to the other question. You're not adding anything. You're not, you know, it's just you. But is that kind of, do you feel like that's a kind of like a connection to your audience members, like just seeing you, audience members, almost like fans, people that comment and engage, like that's a bit more of they see you as human, right? And that's important.
Yeah, I think like when I first started on social media, like even the fact that people like knew who I was or would follow me was like always so mind-blowing. And when I signed with the label and finally was like starting to, you know, like make music professionally and do all that stuff, I'm like, I have this now crazy, like not support system, as in the label. Like I have now this team behind me that is helping me reach fans quicker and faster and better, you know? But part of me realized that like a lot of like, you do like when you're signed to a label, you get better opportunities and bigger things with better engagement and you build real fans. But there's also possibility of like not building real fans, as in like maybe the label's pushing a video on TikTok or has an ad on Instagram, you know, like, which not just labels do that. Everyone does that, you know? But like, I feel like going back to being independent and like, just like texting my fans on Instagram and like replying to comments, which I've been doing the whole time. But I think I kind of just like went back more so into it. And I'm like, I've had this whole like amazing group of people by my side for so long. And I'm like, kind of miss them, you know, like I miss talking to them because that's exactly like how I started, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. And I think if you can, that's wonderful because it's just, you kind of build that connection and it means something just like it's like quick for you. But obviously it means something to you, but like it can make someone else's day as well. Just kind of like you feeling that connection. I think that's nice. That's Yeah, that's really nice. Okay, going back to your album and the songwriting process, sorry. Where do you, I know like we touched a little bit about your songwriting process, but are you kind of like a lyric gal, or do you like going to the melody and the lyrics, or the music first? Where does it all kind of start for you? Is it a little bit different? Is there not a set routine?
I would say that last thing
Yeah.
is definitely more or the most true. I think as of recent, I feel like I've been just like, I would say for the past like year or two, like just writing something down in my notes, like no music. I'll be like out or on a plane or in a car or whatever, and I'll just like have a thought. So I'll write it down, and then I'll eventually revisit it if I'm like, oh, I kind of want to write a song, or I'm kind of feeling something. And then I'll pick up my guitar and go look at that and be like, oh, can I put it to music or whichever? Um, and then sometimes if I'm in like a session like with producers and songwriter, I'm like, oh, what's coming to me musically right now? Let's figure out the track. Like let's get the instrumental down packed and then we'll write the lyrics. So I feel like it really just depends, like also a lot on the environment that I'm in,
Yeah.
because like songwriting with a group of people, like you're like, let's try to bang it out because we don't want to be here for, well, I mean, being here for 10 hours, if that's the vibe, that's the vibe. But like a lot of the time it's like, we got to go home and make dinner and
Yeah.
people have kids and, things to do.
Hmm.
So it really depends on, that. But nothing is like, I don't think I like one more than the other. I think it's just really like what the moment calls for.
Yeah, it just kind of depends on what's coming, what feels natural to that moment. And you've got three singles out already though for the album, and you've just released. What is it called? Good to Be Alone. There you go. That's the one that's just recently come out. And so when you were in Montreal recently, is that where you did that video?
Visualizer,
The
yeah.
visualizer, yeah. Cool. That was so much fun. Like I saw so many comments being like, "Oh my gosh, brave person for like dancing around." How was that?
It was literally terrifying. It was like, what's so funny is like, yes, I could go on a stage and sing for literally like an undetermined amount of people. And I'm like, this is awesome. And I'm not scared and I'm vibing. But ask me to like dance. That's different. Singing and dancing, different. Dancing with headphones on so no one can hear the music, way different. So I was literally like in the metro in Montreal, and then that was already scary. And then we're like, let's go out into the mass of people. And it was also the jazz fest. The jazz
Right.
festival was going on, so more people, more tourists, and like I'm so glad I did it and like stepped out of my comfort zone for it, because I think it really just like drives the point of the song home
Yeah.
even more. And like I'm proud of myself for like doing something kind of crazy like that. But I'm just doing it like in my home city, like the stairs at one point, like the filmographer or the videographer that I worked with was so cool. I've never worked with him before. I just got recommended to him by a friend of a friend. And the stairs that I was on at one point, there's like, it's surrounded by high rises and there's like a rooftop, like little balcony restaurant thing. He's like, I'm going to go ask just to see if I can get up on there and we can film like one take. And I'm like, all right, let's see. Goes and does his thing, whatever. Fine. We see him come out and we're like, oh my God, it's awesome. And so he does the take and it's cool. But those stairs are actually where I took the cover photo for Don't Text Me When You're Drunk, like way back in the
Yeah.
day. I'm sitting on stairs. Like that's the cover photo. And those are the same stairs. So it was like
Oh,
a cool little like home full circle moment.
yeah. That's nice. That's no, that's really sweet. That's yeah. The part that got me smiling was when you were in the on the train and that person's like, was someone walking by you with the backpack and you were kind of like,
I'm like, whatever. Okay, that was crazy because I literally had done the whole, like, I had been standing there for like at least 2 minutes doing my thing, like already. And this guy, I remember him, he was sitting facing me
right,
on the mat. So it's not like he stood up, turned around, and was like, oh, I'm already walking. I have to commit. He fully stood up, faced me, and walked in front of the camera, in front of me. And I was just like, you know what? Props to you for having the audacity to do that. So I was
yeah,
just like, And to be fair, the door that was like kind of just in front of him was like locked for some reason. Like one of the doors on the car was locked.
Yeah, so you have to go that
So
way.
it was not his only option. He could have turned and gone the other way.
But
So
he
I was
wants
like,
to
I
be an
don't know.
extra.
He wanted to be an extra. So I was like, I needed to put that in. I was like, it was just too funny.
And do you have a lot of obviously you've got a team, a wonderful team behind you, like you just mentioned, they're the videographer and manager and everyone. But do you have your input in the editing room as well, like with the music with the visualizer or?
I edited that
Oh,
all
you
by
did.
myself.
There you go.
I did,
So
and
it's
it
still
was
very much.
it was way more work than I thought that it would be. And I realized I'm like, oh, I might need to get a new computer because my 2013 MacBook doesn't really like jive with very big, heavy video files, you
Mm,
know? And like, it was my first time doing something like that. So it was, I feel like being independent, it's a lot about like working with like kind of just finding someone and being like, let's test this out, let's try. Because
yeah.
with the label, they used to be like, this is our favorite photographer, videographer, director, whatever. And you'd be like, okay, awesome, I can afford it. Great, let's go for it. But now it's kind of like just finding people who are not like a similar level to you, but just like going out and finding the people yourself or asking the
Yeah.
friend of a friend. And then it turns out to be this amazing, like thing. So
Yeah.
I feel like being independent has led me like to also, I don't know, just be better at organizational things because I'm really bad. So like just like reaching out to people, being like, hey, let's let's set this up. Let's manage to do this. Hey, do you want to play for this show in Brazil? Like, like I'm on my logistics side of my career more so now than ever.
And that's good. Like you said, like you're making those connections yourself, and then you can always use these people for another project, like moving forward. You've done the kind of like not like you've done the searching then, so you've got those people for next time, and also obviously you can go find out some more amazing people. Do you
Mhm.
have more music videos coming out then for the album?
I mean, this
Can your laptop handle it?
I don't know if she can. This what's crazy is that we did a visual like a same kind of style thing for Homewrecker,
Hmm.
which was very much like it was in a home. It was very like in one setting,
Oh,
fit the music or the fit the song perfectly. And then I was home in Montreal, and we had no plans, or at least at that point, to do a visualizer yet, because we were going to see if we can get Corey Henry involved and see if he could do a part, which is definitely still
yeah.
could be happening at some point down the road. But it had not been uh, confirmed yet at
Mm.
all. So basically, we're texting. I'm home. They're like, "Oh, I had like 3 days left there," and they were like, "Wait, you got to do it while you're home. Like it would be so cool." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, let me put on my big girl pants and try to get this done." And so booked the videographer from the friend of the friend. Had it filmed it, got it done. And so it was a very like last minute impromptu thing, which I think most of my stuff will start being just because that's how fast it really goes.
Mm.
And that's how fast you can decide, let's do it or let's not do it. Because we're not like, oh, my AI went, or the otter.
Goodbye.
Okay, we're still recording though. We're good.
We're
Okay.
still recording. It's
Um,
all good.
great. What was I talking about?
Fast paced.
Yeah, it's just like, it as of right now, we don't have like concrete plans for music videos, but I'm always like thinking of visuals. I have so many ideas for the new songs that are coming out that like, yes, probably. Not
Yeah.
right now, but yes, probably.
Yeah, it's those it's hard because there's so many things, so many hats that you wear, right? That you're trying to like I'm independent artist as well, so I'm trying to like cover everything and just making sure that I'm doing what I can, try and do
Mhm.
more, but then don't get burnt out and trying to balance everything. So it's kind of it is
It's tough.
sometimes it's tough, yeah, and it's a lot going on behind the scenes. But I think you're right. Sometimes things happen without kind of planning too much and then they just happen and then actually it turns out really well because like you said now you've got something like visual media is good for audience members. They like watching something, so you've got that out for the song, but it leaves so much more freedom now so that you can do it again and include
Mhm.
both of you in it, so it's kind of it fits and that you've left space there and you can do with all the other songs as well, like live versions of the songs. There's so many different kind of things that you could do. I'm currently working on some like acoustic versions of the songs, like again, just to post, more versions of the songs are out already. It's just trying to kind of keep posting about that. But yeah, whatever you do, whatever music videos come out, whatever visuals come out, I'm excited.
We're definitely, I feel you so hard on the, like, just keep putting whatever out, like, as much as possible. That's definitely what it's like kind of become now.
Yeah, for sure. I am a bit of a vocal nerd, so I want to talk a little bit about your voice just for a hot second. You've got a wonderful voice. I like, again, all the agility and just range. I actually recently watched your what was the live performance of Fall in Love Alone, where you're doing your magical riff that goes on forever. I watched it again because I'm like obsessed, and I was like, God, this gal. But yeah, I mean, how do you look after your voice? Do you have things that you do to look after your voice, or warm up, or train your voice to like go through exercises to do this? What do you do?
I definitely, it's not extensive at all. Like some days, not every day, but some days when I have a show, I'll just go on, like, I won't speak the whole day and then just go on stage.
Okay.
Like, it's weird. It's not like typical. I obviously do like all like the lip trills, like just the regular, like all the annoying shit. Like, I definitely do that. Sometimes if I'm like, just like, no, I need to be quiet all day and then just walk on stage. Sometimes that's what it is.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't, like, I drink throat coat, like tea with honey, like just like, not, I don't do anything too different or too, and I mean, I try to like drink 3 of these a day, which, I think I'm probably like 2, which is like still better than I probably used to be. So yeah, just like, but I still like, I'm still like 24 and I still like party and
it's your life. Like I think your voice best at the end of the day. Like I feel like sometimes I don't like talking in the morning because that's when I'm like obviously the vocal folds are thick. So I just kind of want to let it be. And sometimes when it feels like it needs a bit more attention and you need to do some like annoying sounds, right? So I think it's important that it is looked after, but also that it is your voice. So, and it's
because also
great.
Like I'm a firm believer that you exercise your voice all day long. Because you're talking, like you're using our instrument all day. And yes, when you're warming up to sing, like you're talking and singing are not the same thing. So you got to do that. But I still like, I'm like, it's not like you're just waking up and then your voice is like, or I mean, like, let me restart. It's not like you're about to do a show and then you're waking up right then and there and be like, I'm going to go sing. You've been talking all day. So that's why I'm like, I'm just trying to see like, what's the balance between like using the everyday talking as half the warm up and then like completing it so that you're at your peak or whatever. Like, like, I don't know. I'm think about that kind of stuff recently.
And again, no, that's an important point as well. And again, when you're singing, you're not hurting yourself, right? It's just an extension of your speaking voice. Yes, they're 2 different kind of, but they all stem from the same place. Exactly. And like same voice. Exactly. Yeah, you're just stretching it a little bit more or just including a little bit of so I think it's so I think again, it goes down to what your voice feels like on the day, what you need to kind of do. But no, I think that's very wise. And you've got your life too. So I say keep partying, especially on your birthday, which is 5 days after your release of the album Blessing in Disguise.
I definitely will. I will have a couple drinks at my birthday and not worry about singing the next day after that. Or I'll make sure that nothing gets put on the schedule for the next day. I'll be like, I might be out for the count for now.
Just keep it free. Who are some of your musical inspirations, be that singing, voice, or even just music? Like,
How much time do you have?
Well, if we can keep it, no, joking. Whatever you want.
I mean, goodness. I right now in this moment, I'm so in my like Jessie Reyez, like just like her new album is insane. I'm so obsessed with it. Like Jessie Reyez, what was I thinking of? Not like yes, Sade, but
Mm-hmm.
why am I blanking on her name? I can sing 12 songs. I Want You Around. Who did that song?
I Want You Around.
Oh my God, that's gonna be so annoying. Why?
It's always when you get these questions,
I'm
like,
like, oh, Snow Allegra. I'm like, I'm a huge fan, and I can't even remember her name. So like Snow Allegra, Jessie Reyez, like
yeah.
Ella May, like I've been really
Okay.
in that vibe in that world recently, which I think is like affecting my music.
Mm.
Like it's definitely leading me towards like that little bit of like more like I've been in my like I was trying to describe it yesterday, like think like black and white detective era. Does that make
Ooh.
sense?
I don't know, but I'm intrigued.
Yeah,
Black and white.
actually, all the songs that I've released so far don't really fit exactly that.
Mm-hmm.
But the next couple songs and some more songs on the album definitely have that more like, you know, like dark, like James
Yeah.
Bond, Winehouse retro,
Yeah.
smoky car vibe.
That vintagey kind of feel. Yeah.
Exactly. And I feel
Yeah.
like that's what I've been just loving recently. Like
Yeah.
that's been just I sit down and I play something and I'm like, it all sounds like I have a lit cigarette in a speakeasy and it's 1940 and whatever, and we're all in black and white, you know?
Yeah.
Where did we even start? Why did I start talking? Oh, my inspiration. Perfect. We got back. And then so yeah, that's been a recent, but I mean like over like of all time, like, you know, the greats, like Michael Jackson, Bill Withers, like all those like Al Green,
Mm.
like just all those oh my God, who else? Wait. Al Jarreau was one of my like big musical inspirations when I was in college. I discovered him and I was like, I've never heard jazz and pop music because
Yeah.
he was a jazz guy through and through. And then he started
Mm-hmm.
making like pop 80s music and mixing them together. And I was like, this is the coolest thing I've ever heard
Yeah.
in my life. Who's the guy who plays guitar? Oh my God. George Benson.
Oh my God, there was a clip of George Benson talking about roots, and sometimes you can start with a seventh, and he's like just doing it straight away, and I'm like, honey.
No, I'm like inspiration to the max. Like that, when
Yeah.
I was in college, like I really started diving deeper into like
Mm.
artists like this, and like you know, like Michael Jackson. Of course, he's hugely famous, but then I was like really looking into his discography and like
Mm-hmm.
you know, like getting all the like he's full of jazz too. Okay, like I don't know what
Well, he's
people
worked
don't
with.
know how much jazz floats around in this world. I
Yeah,
don't.
exactly. It's always like just if you've got a favorite song, and there's probably some bit of bit of jazz in there. There was
There's
he's
always
worked with what's his name, Rod Temperton as well, right? That's who's in so many of I'm pretty sure, but he's like an incredible. You'll see his name so many like in so many big songs. You're like, wait, he's worked with them too. He's worked like there as well, and it's like yeah, it's everywhere.
but yeah, I pick and like Amy Winehouse, I feel like is one of my all time like top of the crew. Like I just think like everything about her, the way she sings, her musicality, her realness, her rawness, like everything
Mm,
about that, I'm like obsessed.
yeah.
Ray is also. I feel like Amy
Oh,
Winehouse and Ray are like. I met Ray at a festival 2 years ago, and everything about the festival and that whole day, we were in Spain. It was just awful. Like flight was
mm,
terrible. Like you know when everything is just goes wrong and
yeah.
like everything just sucks. But we're in the catering tent and I look over and there's Ray. I was like, I don't really get like starstruck really
Yeah.
ever. I could see the like most famous person and I'll be like, that's cool. I'll get a little like but I'm like, okay, they're regular people. But with her, I was like literally I'm like, oh my God, I'm fangirling so hard. And so like dream would be to work with her
Mm,
at some point, but I feel like I'm just like the way she also is so jazzy and blends jazz and is scatting and then turns around and does like freaking her EP Genesis is like
mm.
literally the three songs and the first one is like gospely and felt and then it's like this trap like kind of dark euphoria like and then it goes into some swing little I'm like how do you
Yeah.
do that because I want to do that like that's like it is so creative and it's everything that I like not that I want to be but like because I'm my own person and an own
Yeah.
artist but it's so inspiring to see
Yeah.
for sure.
It definitely is. I love the way that like every live performance is different as well with Ray. You just don't know what you're going to get. And it's just like, where did this come from?
And she just like sits on the stage with no shoes. I'm like,
I
that's all
know.
I want to do.
And in a really nice ball gown, you're like, cool.
If I just had someone to make me up and put me in a dress and give me a mic and said, go sit on stage and sing the songs, I'd be like, oh, that's what I get to do today? That's amazing.
Yep, you're gonna have to do that the day after your birthday now.
Yeah, they're like, hey, we can do this, but it has to be the day after. That's the only thing.
No. Okay, I'll stick to the couple drinks then.
I'll be like, we're making it happen. It's fine.
Yeah. No, she's great. She's definitely. I only came across her probably like a year and a half ago. Yeah, amazing. And you can, like, I know you said that you are your own person, your own artist, but you can also, you do bend the rules to make it kind of whatever whatever you're writing on the day to kind of, it's hard when people are like, what kind of genre do you write? And it's like, eh.
I'm like, on what day?
Yeah, this morning, this evening, I don't know, it could be anything. So
literally.
That's a no. But yeah, thank you. We're coming up to the end of this wonderful chat. It's been so long. I know it's been a wonderful time. Time flies by when we're having fun, but
that's what they say.
That's what they say. And I've got a couple of questions. I just want to ask, like, where, that lovely question, where do you see yourself in 5 years' time? What would you love to kind of happen? Let's manifest this.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, I'm manifesting like having a home and like purchasing or like just having like, something that I got. Like, this is my house. Like, I want a house. I just want to be happy and comfortable, like no matter where I might be in my career, I just want to make sure that I'm like loving what I'm doing still and in a good mental state. I mean, I want to be famous and like a fucking smash superstar. Like, of course I want that, like, but I'm trying to like be wholesome and say all the normal things first. But I mean, I feel like right now I'm just like this album and this tour that is literally coming up faster than we can even, say. Yeah. So I feel like 5 years in the future, I'm like, gosh, I could have 4 albums out by then. I could be 3 tours down. Like,
yep.
But I never know. Of course, I want to play every festival. I want to like play in every beautiful venue. I want to sing for every famous person. I want to do everything, But like, they're like, I don't know. Maybe is that too grand to reach for all that?
I think it's just good talking. It's funny because like you can be worked up on it and then like maybe downhearted if something doesn't happen that you've just but then at the same time if you're saying it then you've got them in front of your like just there, like you can still, like you said, you want to be happy, you want to be in a place where you're kind of like not having to worry, you just want to be mentally happy, but then that's there as well, and that's good. I think that's important,
right?
Just having it there on in front of you.
Exactly, like in the front, off to the side a bit,
Yeah, and then just outside in the corner. We didn't.
It's my peripheral,
That's where it is. No, we completely brushed past the point of your tour as well. When's the first date? Just talk about. I know, we talked so much
September. So I know it's literally that is also even crazy that this is still real and happening. First date is September 20th in San Francisco at Café du Nord. And I am so excited. I'm so excited to start close to LA and like, cause my last show was October 30th in LA. So I'm like ending home kind of. Well, home. Yeah, it is home. But like, we're also doing a date in Montreal on October 4th. That's like my real hometown show. That's going to be so nice. Everyone that when I went home 2 weeks ago, everyone's like, I got my tickets or I'm getting my tickets. And I'm like, bye. So that's going to be literally insane. I'm still like wrapping my head around that. Like it will be my tour because I've been on so many tours, but I've always been opening or, something of the sort. So like, I feel like when I step on stage the first night as the last person to go up on stage, I'm going to be like, this is so weird.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
But crazy exciting. Like I just know that I'm so excited to just connect with like all the people coming and being like, like we've seen each other on screens for so long. And now like we get to sing and I just like, I see people like the same people like just being like, oh, I have my tickets this many days away. And I'm like, I'm literally like genuinely excited to meet all my friends at this show, So
that's going to be amazing. Yeah. And how many shows are there?
We have 29 shows.
29, nice.
I think it's 29, 30. I'll have to count again, but I'm pretty sure.
And maybe some extra sprinkles, who knows?
Yeah, around that.
I am looking forward to the day that you make your way to the UK again. I saw you. I think it was in Hoxton when you did it was a really nice gig because it was so intimate, that space, and it was just.
I have so many. I remember that gig so well. Well, I remember coming out on stage and no sound, and I will never forgive the sound guy for that. But see, you didn't remember that.
No, that's so important.
Exactly. So I know that everyone who was at the show is not like, oh my God, remember when her mic didn't work? I definitely do. And I remember being like, come on, bro. Like, we want it. Like, this is my show. Anyway, it was so great. And I loved that show so much. Like, the crowd was so it. Like, I'm so excited to come back to London to play. Like, people just get me, you know?
Yeah. Well, I'm excited to see you back in London whenever that may be. I know, but that's so interesting what you just said as well. Like, you know, how when it happens, like I've been on stage and my voice cracks or something and everyone's like, oh my God, you sound amazing. And I'm like, did you what? No. And it's like, they don't hear, like, because I've completely forgot about that. Like, that's not what I remember. I just remember being really close and I was just like, whoa.
Oh my God. Well, next time I'm in,
I know.
Next time I gotta be like, Jennifer, get up to the front.
I'll send a message and hopefully say hi in person. That'd be good.
Oh, absolutely. We can definitely make that happen.
Fab. No, I'm really looking forward to seeing all the clips online and everything and just seeing how it goes with obviously the release and then the tour. I'm sure you're going to be mega busy getting all the clips and social media wise as well as just
mega busy. So I wonder what mega busy is going to look like.
I know, yeah. I wonder.
Okay, I already know. I've been that amount of busy before.
Yeah. You've got this. It's gonna go by so fast as well.
Oh,
like the whole experience.
I have to slow down and take it in instead of being like, oh, let's get it done. You know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like going to be a lot, but just take each day as it comes. Okay, cool. I'm gonna leave you with one last question before we go. Someone that's starting like performing, like sharing clips online. What would you say to that person? Any advice or anything?
I think that in this day where the games is like full of like numbers and like seemingly like you need to get your stuff in front of the most people possible, that everyone at every level struggles with that. Like no matter if you, however many followers you have, like it's all something that we constantly think about, because it's kind of been drilled into our brains. But I think just not really like trying not to look at that and not let it define how proud you are of what you're making or the songs you're making, because it's so easy to fall in that like, oh, no one's seeing my video, so it must not be good. But, you know, I think it's really about like going back to why we all started doing social media in the first place, which was just like, I made this thing and it's awesome. And it would be cool if other people saw it. And if people didn't, well, you know, and of course it's so much easier said than done to think like this, because a lot of the time now we're jobs. Like all musicians, like social media is a huge part of everything, you know? So it's like, it's a double-edged sword. You know, you want to feel happy, but then you need to look at numbers for job purposes. But, you know, it's a multifaceted thing.
That's always going to be there. So I think it's just sticking back to like why you're doing it. Post, like, are you enjoying it? Are you proud of the piece that you then just, you know, post it and see what happens. This has been delightful to talk with you. Such a joy.
Great. I had so much fun. It literally was like, oh my God, it's 11 already. How did that happen?
I know, it's gone so fast. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me.
Of course, yeah, thank you. And we'll be in touch. And then whenever I'm coming back to the UK, I'll be like, Jennifer, gotta be in front.
I gotta be right in the front, and I'll be filming as well, so you could take those footage. Whatever you need. I love that. I can't wait.
Thank you so much.
That's all right. I will speak to you soon.
Sounds good. Have a good rest of your night.
You too. Bye. Well, I do hope that Stacey has a wonderful birthday celebrating the release of her album, which is coming out August 15th, Blessing in Disguise. Do go and pre-save. If you haven't checked out her music, I have left a link to her recent single, Good to Be Alone, in the description below. But yeah, I had such a wonderful time chatting with her. She's such a wonderful, warm person, so I'm excited to see where this year takes her and where hopefully soon she'll come to the UK so I can see her perform live again, because it's incredible. But yeah, I can't wait to see where the year takes her and where hopefully soon she comes to the UK so I can see her perform live again. I've also left a link in the description below where you can purchase tickets if you're wanting to see Stacey Ryan live. But otherwise, thank you very much for listening to this episode or watching over on YouTube. Make sure you go and hit that subscribe button, the bell button, and the thumbs up button, and the follow button over on Spotify if you're listening over there. And I'll see you very soon for another episode. Bye!